Alrighty guys, hi, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day today. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about some hot topics that are going on in the YouTube community. And before I get into any of that, I am going to go ahead and say I will not be including any kind of screenshots or conversations or voice memos going on with either of these subjects. I'm just going to give a synopsis and my opinion of these situations with both of these creators, but I will link down below several different videos of other people's commentary, as well as people who have included receipts related to each situation that I'm talking about. That way, in case you are somebody who likes to see the receipts and have commentary, you can go there. I will warn you, if you're new to this topic, both situations have some triggering content involved, so just be wary. Never put your own mental health at risk to keep up with YouTube drama. So the first situation I'm going to talk about is the Creepshow art stuff. And I'm going to first talk about how my experiences with Creepshow as far as like a viewer, and then talk about what's going on and give my opinion on how we got to where we're at today. So I started watching Creepshow art before I ever even had a platform. I watched several videos of her calling out some problematic creators like Onision and Gabbie Vanity, and I was someone who I've always been a viewer of YouTube. I've said that for a while, and whenever there's stories or problematic stuff going on, I like to hear all different kinds of perspectives. I really found her content pretty easy to digest. I will admit I'm not always on board with some of her personal commentary, but that's just her, that's how she does her content, that's her shtick. For me, not always did it jive, so to speak, but I still subscribed to her and I still watched her content that I found interesting. I didn't watch all of her content. It's very rare that there's a creator where I watch all of their content. I typically nitpick and watch the things that I'm interested or I want to hear their opinion on. So she's someone that I've been subscribed to for a long time. After all of this stuff, I have unsubscribed from her. In my opinion, her credibility for me is shot. It makes me question absolutely everything that she has ever put out. It makes me question her motives on certain things. It makes me question a lot of things when it comes to her and her content because of the behavior that has been exposed, allegedly. There's a website called lolcow.farms, and I may be one of the very few who had no idea what it was. From watching other content and seeing what the administrators have put out, this was a website where you can post anonymously about creators and their content, and you're hidden by anonymity, so you can really say whatever you want. It can be gross, it can be vile, it can be borderline hate speech in my opinion, and it's fine. It's anonymous, so you're just saying your 2 cents and maybe engaging in a conversation with someone else and moving on. I really don't understand the mentality behind these kinds of websites. I think these kinds of websites foster a pretty toxic and negative environment, but that's just my opinion. That's neither here nor there. However, with this website came several rules to abide by if you were using their website. And although one of the rules is, although you have anonymity, if it is found that you are misusing their website or breaking other rules, that the administrators will break your anonymity and expose what you're doing. And from what other creators who are covering this have said, this website has done that before. So it's not a big, although it's a big deal because of the kind of bad behavior Creepshow was doing, it's not new. This has been done before. I think people are shocked because Creepshow doesn't portray herself to be this kind of person. She uses her platform as a way to call out the bad behavior that she clearly was engaging in. And it's really hurt a lot of people. It's hurt her subscribers. It's hurt her friends and acquaintances that she has made online. And it's putting everybody who has associated with her in a positive way in a pretty interesting predicament. And I feel very bad for a lot of these creators who I think at the end of the day are just confused. And I can't say I blame them. I think a lot of her subscribers and people who maybe weren't even subscribed but enjoyed her content occasionally are disappointed, because she was a platform where she provided commentary while doing art. She did different kind of commentary. Anything that interests her is what she did her commentary on. And to know that this person who was really using their platform in what seemed to be a positive way, calling out bad behavior, calling out disgusting people, is also engaging in this and living like living two lives online, it puts people at a loss for words. So if you don't know, on this website they have said that due to privacy reasons, they're not going to exactly say how they trace the IPs of a couple of these anonymous accounts, but that a couple of them trace back to IPs that Shannon Creepshow Art is known to use. And it's been over a span of 2.5, 3 years, and there was a total of like 292 or 93 posts by these accounts that are traced to her. And what's got everybody so upset is, from tracing these accounts to her, there are comments and threads made by who is being alleged to be Shannon, saying really disgusting, inappropriate stuff about herself, about her family, and about her friends on the platform. I don't understand why any adult would engage in behavior like this. There's really, the only thing that it reminds me of is like when you're in grade school and you're trying to fit into with the cool crowd, and you may talk shit about your nerdy friends or something like that, with the cool kids to fit in with them, and you're playing like both sides of the coin. That's the only thing I can relate this kind of behavior to, and it makes zero sense to me, because she has a pretty successful platform on YouTube. I don't understand why there would be any need to go to this length, especially for this amount of time. So what was said in some of these comments was extremely triggering. Some of the insults that she had allegedly posted, and it's all disturbing because she portrays herself to be one way on her platform, and then here, lo and behold, on this anonymous website, she is engaging in the very behavior she tries to call out. No one can really wrap their head around why someone would engage in this behavior. What kind of makes matters worse is her YouTube account was allegedly hacked, and there's questions and suspicion around if her YouTube account had legitimately been hacked, because after all of this came to Twitter a couple of days ago, while her account was hacked, all of a sudden it was unhacked, and she was able to post a very long novelesque type deflection statement. In my opinion, this statement that she put out was pure deflection. She deflected everything onto this alleged Amy individual, who was someone that she outed a couple of years ago as being a stalker and someone who had stalked her for 8 years. I hate to say, but all of this, the locale and how she's behaved and what some of her friends have said she said to them in private since all of this, makes me really question the legitimacy of that video she made 2 years ago. Not to mention, currently there is another art channel that is alleging that Shannon was engaging in all of those behaviors with her, and that Shannon was actually Amy. This person is going to be making a video with all of their receipts over the last several years to support what they're saying, and that hasn't been released yet. So compounded with that and everything else, in my opinion, Shannon doesn't have any credibility. Her statement was lackluster and left more questions than answers for anyone, and it ended with she's not answering anyone's questions, and that was that. Since then, some of her friends are feeling that they're put between a rock and a hard place, and some of them have recently gone through a very similar situation with John Swan. I never covered that situation, and I'm not going to cover it now. It's just a similar situation where creators made friends with each other. A creator lied to their face, they defended them, and then they got flack because they had defended someone who was lying. And what's interesting is currently a couple of her friends who have addressed this, whether it be in video or in Twitter, have said that they have asked her for even the slightest amount of proof that it wasn't her, and she doesn't answer and she doesn't provide them anything. She has also said to them that she doesn't want them to defend her. She has also put on, I'm pretty sure it was on her private Instagram, that she may not be coming back to YouTube. All of these behaviors, in my opinion, are of someone who is guilty and is afraid to just deal with the backlash, and so she tried to deflect and further a lie with her community post, and since it didn't make sense, it's only caused people to question her more, and now she feels that she can't come back because no one's gonna believe her. And I can't blame people who question her. All of this goes to say, for me, is whether you're a creator, a subscriber, a viewer, no matter what you label yourself as, when you're on YouTube or in any kind of social media platform, always protect yourself. I'm not saying not become friends with people, but protect your feelings to some degree, because it's terrible to really think about all of the creators and subscribers who are ultimately affected by this behavior. They're let down, their feelings are hurt, they're at a loss for words, they don't understand, and it also shows that people can, no matter who you are, you can present yourself as a way you are not online. Not every creator is genuine and authentic. And that's not to say that there aren't a good bit who are, but when situations like this come out, it's really damning, because people assume, viewers and other content creators assume that what you present yourself as on your platform is who you truly are. And unfortunately, in situations like this, it's just a slap in the face that not everybody is who they say they are. Not everybody is who they convince people they are. And it's hurtful. It's really hurtful. People feel betrayed. People feel lied to. And rightfully so. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that Shannon is going to address this anytime soon, and maybe she'll prove us all wrong and she'll come out with receipts. It seems that what she's been telling her friends is she's going to handle it all legally. And I mean, that's her prerogative. If she really is innocent in all of this and she wants to pursue any kind of legal action, like, that's within her right. That's within everybody's rights. It just doesn't really fit with all of the loose ends that are left behind, and with her own explanations, not only on her community post, but to her friends. It really doesn't make any sense. It seems that she's trying to, in my opinion, it seems that she is trying to deflect and retreat and hope it blows over and comes back. I don't know. With I think it was Tipster who showed in his video the Instagram post where she said she was leaving YouTube. It's all just screams very guilty to me. And a lot of people, myself included, are along the lines that, listen, if you engaged in this really awful behavior, it's one thing to own up to it, and it's a totally another thing to try and lie yourself out of it. Because people are sleuths online. None of us are perfect. We've all engaged in some shitty behavior, whether it's been online or in real life. Like, none of us are perfect. Owning up to it and trying to ask for forgiveness and move on is one thing, rather than trying to lie. Because at this point, almost everybody is on the thought process that it is likely Shannon who was engaging in this. And it's going to be harder for them if she later comes out and says, or it is later proven by anyone, that she was engaging in these disgusting things. People are not going to be as willing to forgive her because she wasn't willing to take accountability. But all she does on her channel is preach that people need to take accountability for their disgusting behavior. It's very, very hypocritical. And it puts all of her friends in a very awkward position. So we'll see what happens with that. I can't remember the channel, something arts, that says that they have receipts on Shannon. She's tweeted out today that she's working on the video, so maybe that will provide more background information. It doesn't seem like it's going to get any better for Shannon, but we never know. We'll just have to watch and see, and this is something that I'll probably continue to commentate on as things unfold, because I was a supporter of Shannon's, and it's just disappointing. It really is disappointing. So the next topic that I want to talk about is the Gabbie Hanna situation with Jessie Smiles. If you don't know the background there, it is long and lengthy, and for a lack of better terms, a shit show. I'm trying to think of the best way to, I don't want to trigger anybody, but I'm going to be alluding to SA if you don't know what's happened with Jessie. This happened several years ago. She had an ex-boyfriend named Curtis Lepore, who was a person on Vine, as well as Gabbie. Was an ex-boyfriend of Jessie Smiles. I guess they were, I don't know if it was at a party or where this took place, but Jessie had a bad experience where SA happened. This is not alleged. People keep trying to say that this was an alleged event. It was not alleged. He pled guilty. Like, he admitted to this. Not only did he admit this to law enforcement, he also admitted this to Gabbie Hanna, which we hear in the voice notes. So this is not an alleged act. Jessie Smiles came out and said that this had happened to her, and she got a ton of freaking backlash from all over the place. People saying they didn't believe her, really discrediting her as a survivor. And after all of this, Jessie and Gabbie become friends, and it becomes known to Jessie that Gabbie was aware of the situation that had happened, but was not holding it accountable to Curtis, and was pretty much giving him a pass for what he had done to her friend. This has been a back and forth between Gabbie and Jessie for years now, where Gabbie will attack Jessie and put a narrative out that Jessie's this bad person and that she's lied about things. And Jessie made one video as a response to the 3 in total that Gabbie has made on her. And Jessie decided a couple of days ago that she was going to release a phone conversation that she had with Gabbie, because this is, like I said, this has been a back and forth for years. Gabbie is someone who is always, and I mean always, involved in some kind of controversy and some kind of drama. And when you really look into the drama and the controversy that she's involved in, she is the reason. She is the common denominator in all of it. Her behavior is questionable. At best, it's questionable. These voice notes are so ridiculous, and it shows a sense of entitlement that Gabbie thinks she has, that she clearly needs to be humbled. And I mean that in the most sincere way. She needs to have a big old slice of humble pie, because everything, although Jessie was the literal survivor in this conversation, it is all about how it has affected Gabbie and Gabbie's fans, how it's been hard on her. She's not even taking into consideration what has happened to Jessie and what Jessie could have possibly experienced. And she even tries to throw into that people never believed her and called her a liar. The behavior of what is heard on those voice notes is deplorable. I do not understand how anyone at this point could openly defend Gabbie Hanna. I do not understand. There's plenty of videos showing Gabbie's very questionable history on YouTube and her issues that she has had with people, and how she manipulates things and lies about stuff and creates drama. To then know all of that and then listen to how she was gaslighting Jessie, making it all about her, and pretty much saying she didn't care what Jessie had to say, that if Jessie did not give her a public apology that they should write together, that she was going to continue. What kind of person does that to someone else when all they did was make one video in rebuke to your 3, trying to belittle a survivor in her situation? Gabbie has worked her career into being a professional victim. She always makes herself out to be the victim. And I can't help but wonder if her fan base is all young and immature and cannot understand the totality of her behaviors. because they are deplorable. Over and over and over again, year after year after year, she constantly deflects her nasty behavior and makes it whoever her victim is, that who she's going after, makes them into being the bad guy, and makes herself seem like she's innocent, when behind the scenes she's the one who is manipulating and puppeteering all of this information. Jessie is a very strong person. I'm being transparent, I've not really watched her before, but for her to have gone through everything she has on social media and be able to say enough is enough, I don't care if I get backlash, I don't care what happens, but here is the information, I want this to stop. I congratulate her. I congratulate her for being able to be strong and work her way through all of this stuff that has happened online to her. It really is not fair how she was portrayed. It really isn't fair that people still try to take the original account of what happened to her and say it was alleged, because the dude admitted to it. It's not alleged at that point. Please stop running with these false narratives. Stop trying to further victimize somebody who has experienced enough trauma. I don't know what it is with the internet, thinking that it's everybody's job to make everybody else seem like this bad guy. You can do commentary and provide your opinion, even if it's a negative one on someone, but still have some kind of level of respect. Jessie is a strong woman. Throughout all of this, the year's worth of this, listening to that phone call where she clearly ended up having to end the call in the first part because she was so traumatized by what was being said. And Gabbie just trying to sit there and excuse her behaviors and what she did away is so telling for who she is. I'm trying not to get overly vocal about it, but hearing those voice notes and watching videos that people have done, really compiling all of the drama and behaviors that Gabbie has been involved in, how she has any kind of platform at this point is mind-boggling. She plays a lot of reverse psychology, I've noticed, where she constantly says that I'm hated online, which is triggering people who enjoy her to butter her up. She's got it down to a science, and it's absolutely disgusting. She is someone I have never subscribed to, and I promise you I will never subscribe to her. From what I have seen over the years, she is not someone who deserves my time. So those are my opinions on what's currently going on with both of these situations. I will again link other videos and the Twitter thread related to Creepshow art in my description box. It may take me a day or two to get all of that in there, but I will get it in as soon as I can. Please let me know what your thoughts are on both of these situations. The Gabbie stuff I'm not surprised by, but the Creepshow stuff I am surprised, and I'm disappointed, as I think many people are. But let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you in the comment section. Otherwise, I hope you have a good day, evening, or night, wherever you guys are. And until next time, bye guys.